Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a new edition of Startup Showcase, a new project through which we showcase various startups that we encounter in our startup scouting processes at Tech Device. So today we have with us Șerban from Eyeware. Hi, Șerban.
Hi, Mircea. Pleasure to be here.
Șerban is from Romania, but currently he's living in Switzerland together with his co-founders. Șerban, tell us about Eyeware in one phrase. What does it do?
Sure. Eyeware is a technology startup. We have our own proprietary technology for doing eye track. So we track where people are looking, and we use consumer devices, consumer cameras. So the cameras you have in your iPhone, for example, or similar cameras. And so that reduces the need for any additional hardware. We are 100% software. We have our own computer vision and deep learning methodology. And that's what we're building.
Okay, that's cool. So it's a deep tech startup. And share with us some use cases. Where do you apply it? How can it be used?
Sure. So that is one of the challenges that we have in this particular business for eye tracking is that anywhere you have a person's face, you can also see his or her eyes, and then that's something that you can use it for. So it's critical also for us as a startup, as a business, to identify the best use cases or the right ones at the moment. So the ones that we see now that are catching up steam, and it seems to be a good timing. One would be in consumer electronics, consumer devices, so laptops, for example. Like you now have face recognition and face ID to, for example, a smart laptop to automatically open when it sees you in front of it. Like similarly, you can have eye tracking as well and interact with your computer with your eyes, using it for gaming, for example, for ergonomic, to know if your eyes are tired. So there's many use cases around the laptop, and similarly, it can be transferred to tablets or phones, like a smaller screen devices. And the second big area, I would say, is automotive, where it's used for driver monitoring systems to know that the driver is looking at the road for safety, but also for, let's say, infotainment, entertainment, where you have this like smart assistants inside the car that you have now voice recognition you can talk to. So you can combine that with eye tracking as well. And let's say if you're looking at the road, looking at the side, and you see a restaurant and you want to make a reservation, you can say, "Hey, make a reservation there." So that the car needs to combine a lot of different sources of input information, like a GPS location, the voice commands, but also the direction of the street we're looking at.
So now we know what it does, the product. We know the use cases, but who are the ideal clients for you? Can you name a couple of examples or categories of clients?
Sure. The category we will call internally OEMs, so manufacturers of products. We're a business-to-business licensing, let's say, business model startup. So we want to work directly with the manufacturers of the computers, so Lenovo, Acer, and or the manufacturers of cars in the end, so BMW, Mercedes, and so on. So that's like an area, like a category. But we also have our own software that we sell licenses, individual licenses that you can buy. So that's targeted more to researchers, for example, either academic researchers or inside the companies as like R&D department.
Okay. And what stage are you with the startup and the product at this moment?
The startup is going to be 4 years old, I think, this in September. It's the birthday. So during this time we've grown a little bit. So in January last year we received a funding round that allowed us to grow our team. We're now 20 people full time in between Switzerland, Romania, and Portugal. And so basically, like the main activity of the company started after that funding round, where like we have more capacity to develop. So the technology is ready. We have a software development kit, an SDK that is now being released, not publicly, but more of an internal release to our clients and customers. We're working on more products, and hopefully there's going to be more public as well that we can share soon. So on the technology side, we are definitely, there's a lot more development to be done, but we have already a product that we can give to customers, so we can sell that. And on the business side, we're also looking to grow. We are fundraising again this year, so there's more activity that is planned in the next month.
Okay, and speaking of that, how can we help you more specifically, we or the people who are watching this?
So thank you for the question. You've been a good friend so far, Mircea, I have to say that publicly. You've been putting us in contact with a lot of people and always remembering Eyeware. And I mean, for us right now, there's two critical milestones, if you want. The one is the fundraising part. So we're targeting a 5 million round to close by the end of the year. We're in discussions with investors now, so it's a public, let's say, open round. And on the second side, or the other side, is business development. So the direct connections to corporates in order to enable this B2B licensing deals, which, as you can imagine, it's a kind of a long sales process. It can take 1 to 2 years, or even 3 to 4 years in the automotive sector. So we are engaged in that, but still takes time. So we need to move faster to also show the market traction.
And if we think in the future, like in a couple of years, how would be ideal development for you? What is the vision more specifically of the startup?
Yeah, that's a good point. And I mean, we're always looking to the future. I think as entrepreneurs, as startup people, you have to have a goal and kind of push towards it. And I think our goal is now kind of layered in different levels, because we definitely have like a big vision, like 10-year vision, where we see all of these devices that we interact with every day, and definitely see the need for eye tracking there, because there's a lot of information that comes through to your eyes. That I think it's important to build relationships and trust. So the way we do with other humans, we can do that with the digital and artificial companions that we have. And even now, like if you see that I'm kind of shifting my eyes because the camera is there, but the screen is here, so I want to see you as well. So that's also something, like a feature that we're working on, is case correction that makes your eyes look straight to the camera. So it kind of builds a more natural connection with the people when you see these kind of videos. So there's a lot of things we're doing today in terms of our more short-term or immediate term things, especially now since we've been in this quarantine, a kind of global setting of quarantine, and we're interacting much more with our devices and much more in front of the computer, and we have more of these conference video calls. I think there's a lot of features, like I mentioned, the gaze correction, but others in terms of interaction that we're building that we hope to release soon as a package. And that would be, I think, interesting and exciting for us to see people using it and see if it is useful in a day-to-day life or like collaborative work. But of course, I mean, our goal is to have this integration. So in a few years, in a span of 3 to 5 years, to actually buy the next generation of a phone or a laptop or a car that has Eyeware eye tracking included, and you will probably won't know it if it's white labeled, but if it's there, and hopefully it works well, and we can be one of those providers. So.
And speaking of challenges, I mean, you're a deep tech startup, like doing a lot of research, and you actually started from a research project, from what I remember. What were the challenges that you encountered on the way, like the biggest challenges?
Yeah, thank you for asking that. That's it is a very challenging. I think there's different types of startups and startup stories, I would say, or paths. We're the deep tech one, which kind of faces different challenges, like a different path than, for example, a software as a service, a SaaS, or like a lot of different approaches, marketplaces, and so on. So we come from research, and we're facing what we call internally as, we have a solution looking for a problem. Initially, it's the opposite of how you do actually a startup. If you teach everybody to do a startup, it's like, go look for a problem and then find a solution. And we did the opposite. So we're not probably the best teachers in startup areas, but because you come with a technology and you have this very good technology, it's innovative, you have patents, and like you see that, I mean, there's use cases for it and it works. And then, okay, what can you actually do with it? And then the problem, the challenge is that you can do many things with it. And then you're like, okay, well, how do you prioritize? And then most investors also want to see it's a word we've heard a lot of times, your focus. Like, what do you focus? And that focus, you need to figure it out by talking to people, getting the market feedback, putting a timeline of how things were going to evolve. And we've been through that for more than 2 years now. I think probably it's like 2-3 years, and we're still into that. So it's been 2 years of learning and like figuring out the market and little traction, maybe like we had projects and so on, but we've learned through those projects and getting better to the next step. But yeah, it is very challenging, I think, to take the opposite approach and then to actually come with the solution that everybody wants.
You're landing well because actually I see a lot of products which can integrate well your technology. So from this perspective, I don't think you're far away from a clear perspective, and you're getting close to that. And I think that's part of our future related to how we interact with the devices and machines and how they can make our lives better through Eyeware as well. So that being said, Șerban, I believe the website is eyeware.tech, and everyone who wants to see more details can check the website and as well to contact you through the website.
Sure. And YouTube, you can see some of those demos there. And LinkedIn, we're posting news of what the company is doing. And yeah, my name at Eyeware is Șerban@eyeware.tech is my email if you want to reach out directly. It was a pleasure. Thank you for the invitation again, Mircea. It's always a pleasure.
You again.
Glad to be in touch.
Okay. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Bye.